Welcome to the broadcast, Anthony C. I know this is very unusual for us here at Focus on Liberia, but I need to do this. And so as you have just joined me, please hit that share button quickly. I just need 45 minutes to talk about something very important. So if you have not shared, I ask you to share very quickly. You know, the topic I want to discuss is another fiasco Liberian government delegation to Washington. This is Focus on Liberia, where we educate, we elevate, and promote all things Liberia. I want to see as many Liberians as possible to join this very, very late night edition of our program here at Focus on Liberia. So I will not waste your time, but to go into the topic right away. So please do us that usual favor, share it. It's late, but it has to be done at this time. I know some Liberians are up and listening, and I want folks in Liberia who are just waking up to also be able to follow. And when some people wake up in the morning, they should be able to see the presentation from us here at Focus on Liberia. So let's get started. So our government, the proper government, has been doing everything in its power to get the attention of Washington. When we say Washington, we're talking about Okusen. Okusen meaning the United States of America. The history of Liberia is so simple. It's just that many of us don't take time to understand it. I mean, not to understand it, but to read it and follow it. You know, Liberia established by free slaves that came from the United States. And so that piece of history is so profound in that Liberia as a country and Liberian leaders should not have any problem connecting with America, you know, at least to talk about the government that has that blessing, that has that authority to do so in connecting with the U.S. government. The U.S. government is the most richest government in the world. It has a lot of money, you know, there's a lot of goodwill in the U.S. So country like Liberia that is poor, and also having this very unique traditional ties, you know, the diplomats will tell us they should be able to actually tap into it for the benefit of the country and also the Liberian people. But America, you know, where I live, I have a serious and fundamental problem, you know, with the way they relate to Liberia. But I think it's so because our leaders, you know, don't know how to really engage the United States of America. So I will save that for another day. Fast forward, folks. So any Liberian president that gets elected, the first thing that is on the mind of that president is to secure a firm relationship with the United States of America. You know, Ellie had that, and we know how it helped her in a significant way. We can talk about how the goodwill that was given to the country was squandered by that Unity Party government, but we'll save that for another day. But there was this goodwill, there was this relationship. You know, Ellen, to her credit, she met Barack Obama. You know, she was able to meet almost all of the top U.S. government officials. And that's translated into a goodwill from the people of America to Liberia. Liberia benefited to a greater extent. So that has been our history. And Charles Taylor, you know, left something with us that is important to point out. When Taylor was asked if he had any regret, you know, giving his time as president, he was blunt. He said, my greatest regret was the fact that I didn't have the attention of Washington. He was talking about America. So, you know, it's the world order. I don't like it that some people are powerful and try to control others. You know, as a human being, you know, somebody should not be controlling you. Somebody can advise you, somebody can, to be able to control you. But that is the war order. Some people are powerful, some people have the influence, they want to have their way. And, sometimes you have to just succumb, not only for your own benefit, but for the stability of your country. And many of you will agree with me, the wars that we have in Liberia, America play a significant role. Release Charles Taylor, they found out some of these rebel factions, and what happened? Thousands and thousands of people died. So that is why having a relationship with a consequential war power like that is so important in governing the country. But fast forward to this current administration that I want to talk about. So they came to power. They were elected, accurately, overwhelmingly by the Liberian people. So they came. It was a proper government. The president was sharing tears of joy. He was excited that he got, elected. Liberians were jubilating. And what did he do? He went to France. Really? Didn't President Weah live in the United States for some time? Isn't President Weah's wife an American citizen, a Jamaican American citizen for that matter? But President Weah, either because he played football in France, either because he speaks a little bit of French, he had boycotted what has been a diplomatic tradition of the Liberian government. He went to France. He did not come to the United States. Now, that's one aspect. Why did he do that? Is that in any way affecting why this government is yet to get the attention of Washington? But here's the thing. Governments around the world, even China, wants a relationship with America. China is the rising economic power in the world. And if China is not doing business with America, China will be impacted significantly because, if you go in your closet, look at everything in your house, check it. What it will tell you is, if not 50 or 60 or 70 or 99% will be made in China. To those of you in America, China, even those of you in Liberia, wherever you are. Why is that? China is the now greatest or one of the greatest manufacturing country in the world. A lot of things are produced in China and going all over the world. China is benefiting. China economy is becoming powerful because China has a relationship with America. America has millions of people who are working. Some people have 3 jobs, so they have the purchasing power. So China would rather do business with America because when Chinese goods are purchased, when goods are manufactured in China, China gets money. Now, let me not bore you with that complicated stuff. Let's come to Liberia. Liberia is simple to understand. So just as I was saying, our President George Manuel Weah went to France. And we understand he was promised $10 million. I don't know if that 10 million euros was received. I'm a guy, I'm not a budget guy. I don't know anything about economics. My interest is politics. I want to be, a political analyst. And I also want to be able to be in the business of broadcasting and holding individuals accountable because I want a better country. I am a beneficiary of a country that works, that has system that benefits its people. I'm a beneficiary. And I was in Liberia. I saw life. It was miserable. If I show you a picture of me, I moved to the US when I was 32. When you see my 32 years old picture, and I'm not going to tell you how old I am now. If you see it, you'll be surprised that I had looked older when I was 32 compared to my current age. Shit. I was not getting a balanced diet. But let me go back to the topic. Folks, why will you rush to France? It's said because our president was anxious to travel. And in a diplomatic circle, when you behave like that, you give yourself a record that may haunt you down the line. When Erling came to power, Erling did not run to, Germany, because our understanding is that Ellen has some, some sort of German blood. Either her great grandfather, somebody came from Germany. Did Ellen go rushing to Germany because she has some German connection? But our president Joshua rushed to France because he played football in France. Joey is of age. Joey has seen everything. He's seen the war. He enjoyed it all. He's not a little kid. He's a man. He just turned 55. And by the way, happy birthday, Mr. President. So this Mr. President, who lives in America, whose wife is an American citizen, who should have some semblance of understanding about the traditional ties that subsist between the United States and the people of Liberia, he chose to go to France. So fast forward, we're going to 4 years now. Our president is yet to meet the president of the United States of America. Since he got elected, America is having its second president. Our president is yet to meet the American president. And it may surprise you. You think they're not making efforts? The Weah administration has spent millions just to gain the attention of Washington. And all that effort is just like wasting water on dogs' back in Liberia, we would say. There are many reasons responsible for that. So, when you become a president, the way the world leaders, the world powers, to put it right, not necessarily the leaders, but the world powers, the powerful countries that have the biggest economy, the biggest, military might, they try to look at what those of us who follow these things, they call it, they try to look at your democratic credentials. By democratic credentials, they know they're talking about the way you govern your people, the way you handle the issue of justice in your country, the way you treat your people, issue of human rights, issue of corruption, transparency, that people know what you're doing as a government. These are your democratic credentials, trying to have free and fair election, not intimidating folks in the oppositions. These are the things they call your democratic credentials. When these things, especially for African country, the one that the world powers look for most to be able to do business with you is your fight against corruption. They want to see transparency and accountability as one of your top priorities. When you do that, you gain their attention. And the little resources that you are generating in your country, when you are using it sufficiently to improve the life of your people, and when they see the necessary strides, that all you do every day is to see how best you can manage the little you raise as a government to meet the needs of your people, and that you are not allotting the budget of the country in a way that officials of government get the fattest budget, and then you have a very little just coming to the people for their material condition improvement. When you do that, people don't pay attention to you. Now, to further this, let me say to you, if you look at our budget, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf will cry about for corruption. The budget was around $21 million. That was the budget of the Ministry of Presidential Affairs. When President Joshua came in, he raised it to $26 million. That's a $5 million increase. And the economy was in a free fall when he did that. Look at how much money is being allotted to the legislature. And look at the little money that is being allotted to schools and hospitals. Hospitals are failing. Schools are failing. Schools are not being renovated. And we continue to show you pictures of the University of Liberia. And of late, I've been showing pictures of Tottenham High. Anytime I get to look at those pictures, my spirit in me quench. And President Weah came to power. The CDC came to power. We're talking about, in Liberia, we say indigenous people, children, poor people, children, monkey woman, children, fishermen, children. My father is a fisherman. They have had this greatest opportunity to fight to give their people a better life. And all they are concerned about is how to amass wealth for themselves. So this president, immediately after taking power, he broke down his nice tree house. He started building it. And he started building condominiums all over the place. He set a terrible example. Terrible example. In fact, when he took over, the first thing they did was the president has allotted, I don't remember the exact figure, but it was in 200,000 United States dollars just to renovate office. Ellie had just come from that very office, and you allot $200,000 just for that office to renovate it. They gave Joel Howard Taylor pretty close to the same amount for her to renovate her office. Obama, when he came to power, the man who served as president of the world's greatest economy that has a budget in trillions, he told the U.S. government, I'm not spending a dime of the government money to renovate my office. He didn't do that. But his own supporters raised money that was used. Yes, this is true. Look it up. And we have a son of the soil who came to power. We were told he had millions. But in no time, he got to business. The properties were flying all over the place. And so the likes of Koji and Mange, Mange took a loan in no time. And he acquired himself a mansion. That very Mange, may his mother or so rest in perfect peace. In Liberia, we say, and let life perpetual shine upon her soul. His mother died, he brought undue attention to his poor mother, spending several thousands of United States dollars and building a mausoleum. A mausoleum is like a house built and used to bury usually people of royal standing. That thing started with the kings and the queens those days. Those were the people they were building mausoleum for. When private individuals started doing it, was because they got rich. Oh, Mange is a rich man now. The guy who was living by the swamp is a rich man now, who was asking people for transportation. The guy who was just an assistant minister, from my understanding, at the Ministry of Internal Affairs. This guy is a rich man now and is building a mausoleum for his mother. Less than a few years into power as the Minister of Presidential Affairs. And the president did not fire him. And so fast forward, folks. They sent their first delegation because they couldn't get Uncle Sam's attention. That delegation was headed by a Samuel Tuer. Interesting, right, folks? That delegation was headed by a Samuel Tuer. Can't you think about it? Have you forgotten the news of Samuel Tuer being on record about this map of money question that hangs on his head? Let's say for the sake of argument, Samuel Tuer did not steal any money. But the fact that as head of the economic management team, he was in charge. In fact, he had advised the government that they needed to pump more US dollar in the market to pull out the excess Liberian dollars that would have stabilized the exchange rate. The exchange rate was just going up, prices were going up, people were confused, people were crying. I have a video of women in Douala complaining about this government, that they can't take it. In fact, they are hungry. I have that video. It was tough. They took that money from our reserve in New York. And 12 said they gave the money to modest teachers. But let me not bore you with that. But the point I tried to make was this man has brought on himself questionable character. And when our government decided that it needed to make effort after they tried the lobbyists, it didn't work. They said, well, we got to carry our own face then. Maybe when the government of the United States, sees us, they will have some form of compassion. Earlier, I told you about democratic credentials. That is what the people look at to give your government assistance. So to acquire himself this bad reputation, he did not provide good leadership. For the report of that manpower money to come out was like, whoa. It went to LACC. It went to the auditing. It came from auditing. They sent it to LACC again. In fact, when we got a copy, it was leaked at some point. In fact, they said that, oh, when the report came out, heads were going to roll. Not a single head had rolled yet. So their most recent delegation, the one before this one, that they just ended, was headed by Samuel Twe. They came. They went everywhere. They were just taking pictures all over the place. The pictures were flying on social media. Of recent, I learned a word from a gentleman called Ansu Dwalu. Dwalu said the government believe in something he calls phototangibles. Phototangible means photos that our government is showing as tangibles. So when they come to the United States to lobby with the US government, they take pictures and that is the tangibles they want to show. Because out of a sudden, our covering government is supporters and Liberians who support the government, which is their right to do. And I have no problem with that. This is politics. Even people support a guy like Trump, right? Can you imagine that? So they always talking about tangible, and there's so-called intellectuals in Liberia say, hey, what's the tangible? You don't have any tangible to show. So the tangible thing now they become so consumed with the tangible thing. So when they come to the United States to lobby the US government to get the US government attention so that they can get some form of funding, they are anxious to get the photos. And the photos are flying from their hotels to the streets, at the US embassy, to some corner somewhere. The photos are flying, photo tangibles. And so for two major trips that has been made by our Liberian government directly to the US in their effort to lobby the US government, all we got is nothing but photos, photo tangibles, right? So we were going to show you some of the pictures because, focus on Liberia. When we say something, we want to show you the evidence of that. So, you see our delegation this time, they didn't even come with a woman. There was never a single female on the delegation. So men came. So let me show you the photos and then I will do some analysis. So you see there, you see Samuel Twe, you see Ambassador George Panton, Nathaniel Mange, and they are taking the picture with Senator Lessing Grant, a racist, but every definition of racism. That is the guy Liberians from the Black African nation are taking picture with. This guy who is against every agenda of the Democratic Party that controls the House of Representatives and also controls the Senate and also controls the executive branch of government. You are now meeting the guy who is more like a political enemy of the Democratic Party. This guy who did everything undercover to stop Joe Biden from taking seat. That is the guy. Samuel Twe, with all the smartness he said he got, That is the guy to go take picture with. And there is Mange, and even our U.S. Ambassador George Panton, who has been in the diplomatic circle for some reason. He couldn't even provide a sense of direction. You live in America here, you follow the politics here. You see how, the whole thing is between the U.S. government, not the U.S. government, the Republican Party, and also the Democratic Party. You know about that. You know about that, Ambassador George Panton. You do know about that. And what do? You allow these people to take a picture with Lessing Grant, and that is the best you could do. So, folks, fast forward. There is Samuel Twe there with Jefferson Koji. I don't know what the thing they're doing over there. I don't know what the thing they are doing over there. Folks, I hope I'm live here. I don't know what is going on. Folks, please give me notification. Am I still live? I see some indication from my end that, okay, I think I'm back online. All right, thank you. So we can, continue this conversation. So there is Samuel Twe lecturing, listen, Grant. Samuel Twe, you live in America. Yeah, you know the politics. Ambassador George Panton, you know the politics. And you brought Peking Jefferson Koji on this delegation, Ledger Wu Reading, information minister, and there they are. I think they brought a gift for Listen Grant. Listen Grant, you go give a gift. He come from, I can't believe these people. Yeah, and there, Nathaniel Mange. Now this time he is the head of the delegation, because the last time it came, it was Samuel Twe. They got $0. So right now they bring him Nathaniel Mange. Nathaniel Mange, the guy who built a mausoleum, who built a whole house. He built his mother grave just to say that mansion. That's the guy that coming with using the Liberian people money. The guy who could not even pay his rent on time. There they are. They're getting so weary now. Talking with Lessing Grant. You come to Washington, Democrat in charge, and you're meeting a racist Republican senator. That is what they do. Folks, can you believe these people? So let me come to something after showing you the pictures. You are coming to Washington. I don't know what really factor into their decision to meet a political enemy of the Democratic Party that is in power, that controls the White House, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. I don't know what actually went into that decision. Is it because Representative Chris Smith, who is a Republican, consider our government as a kleptocratic government? For those of you who forgot the meaning of kleptocrat or kleptocracy, kleptocracy is a form of government that is ruled by thieves, rogues, people who can steal. When they are in power and they control the government, that form of government is considered as kleptocracy. The guy who said those harsh words about our government having to be a Republican representative, Chris Smith. It said because of that, Samuel Twe and our ambassadors felt the need to meet a Republican senator, and the thing about doing that is going to change anything. Because I can't really pinpoint how in this world you'll be so naive and not understand this basic thing about lobbying the government that controls, lobbying the individual or the political party that controls the U.S. government. Why will you not lobby with your senators and representatives? And you go meet Republican folks. I can't just get it. But that is what they did. So, and long time I wanted to do this show, but I said, no, let me wait. I don't want to be like, some of my brothers who, in this issue of trying to hold government feet to the fire, they're rushing, they want breaking news and all that. And that is why many of them are considered are liars. So I waited, because when they came the first time, I waited again. They left. When they left, they went to Liberia. I'm sure Samuel Twema have written that thing. They wrote a long explanation how they came, they tried to re-engage and blah, blah, blah. And that was it. They spent several $100,000s to do that. Several $100,000s. That's why they spent. They came on that trip. And they didn't get $0 they got. Less than 1 year, they're coming back again. What changed? So let me tell you why they didn't get money. The U.S. government wants to do business with a government that is responsible. The U.S. government wants to do business with a government that is accountable to its people. A government that is not corrupt. A government that has strong democratic credentials. The government that is transparent. Is our government transparent? Have we not heard of the multiple corruption? Did we not get a confession from Charles de Gaulle, who is now former manager for the Port of Buchanan? Did we not get a confession from him that he's not alone in the stealing, or I want to call it the looting, of nearly 300,000 United States dollars? Did we not get that confession? Did we not get also reports that he did not act alone and the port manager, Bill Twawe, is part of that? Did we not also get reports that somebody at the LACC, the guy who should be fighting corruption, he's part of it? Has President we are taking any action against Bill Twawe? No. And this guy, who they were all trying to put the blame on, they couldn't even arrest him in the country. What happened? He escaped from the country. I'm sure they allowed him to escape. And this is the government that comes to the United States. You are stealing the very few dollars that you are generating from our people. And you want to come here for the people to give you millions, so you do what with it? Steal it also? So you see, we have the U.S. ambassador in Liberia. They are taking note. They are taking record of everything that happens in the country. So there's no way you can come to the U.S. and think you can lecture the Americans that have represented an embassy on the ground and taking notes of everything that this government does, and you're going to come here and fool them. You shut yourself in the light. But let me tell you what Manabio did, for which things are going very well for him. Unlike our government, Manabio got elected just about the time President Weah got elected. Unlike President Weah, Julius Manabio of Sierra Leone, what did he do? Manabio, when he got elected, he constituted and empowered their anti-corruption commission. The LACC is our own anti-corruption commission. Now, the anti-corruption commission in Sierra Leone, the last time I checked, and many of you who watch us here focus on Liberia, we have a correspondent in Sierra Leone. The Anti-Corruption Commission in Sierra Leone has been able to arrest up to former what? Vice President, confiscated properties that they stole from the government. And the Anti-Corruption Commission of Sierra Leone has been able to restitute about 25 billion leon. That's the Sierra Leonean money. 35 billion leon. The last time we checked was 25, not 35, 25 billion leon. That is why the LACC, just for us to understand with the Liberian folks, the LACC, or the Anti-Corruption Commission in Sierra Leone, they have been able to what? retrieve money stolen by former government official in Sierra Leone. 35 billion leon. That is why that LACC was able to take away from former government official that stole the money, and that includes the former vice president of Sierra Leone. That's why in Sierra Leone that went on. That's what the Sierra Leone Anti-Corruption Commission did. And it had the blessing of the president, Marabio. Marabio gave the guy the power, said, look, you have your power, you don't have to ask me. Chase the money. Anywhere you see somebody taking money, go after them. You don't have to come and ask me because he's not part of it. And so what happened? Sierra Leone has solidified his domestic standing in terms of democratic credential on transparency and fighting corruption. Sierra Leone did that. Sometimes these things have to be much more symbolic. And that's what Sierra Leone did. And so what happened? This is what happened after that. So after that, in Sierra Leone, and let me make it bigger here for you to see, folks. You see that Sierra Leone selected for a 400 million copper grant by the MCC. You see that? That is the president of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada, who got elected just about the same time our president, Mr. George Malawi, got elected. Sierra Leone, because Sierra Leone has initiated the fight against corruption, because Sierra Leone was able to retrieve more than 25 billion leon. That is the current Sierra Leonean money from corrupt government officials. The MCC, that is a Millennium Compact Corporation, is a financial institution that almost like gave money to poor governments. But they have their own benchmarks and criteria that you have to meet. One of which is that you are fighting corruption. So when Manabio started that, they look at Manabio, they say, hey, you are selected, we gave you 400 million. I didn't say 4 million, I didn't say 40 million. 400 million United States dollars was given to Sierra Leone. All you have to do is go after the bad people, man. They stole the country money. Go after them. Get them. Let them pay the money back. You lock them up. And America will give you free money. They're not doing it because they like you. They're doing it because you're doing the right thing. Now, for the past 5 years now, the Liberian government budget is always around 5 million, 5 million, 525, 535, 547, this, that. Sometimes they'll push it up to 576, but then we'll realize that there's budget shortfall, they can't even raise that money. So the number that has been consistent has been around 525, 535, 545. This is Sierra Leone getting $400 million. That is almost our budget. Free money that the people gave them. And why they gave them the free money? Because they're fighting corruption. I didn't see the people of Sierra Leone celebrating as though, the whole world now has come to an end and the greatest thing ever has happened. But when we got a little promise, that promise of a 10 million or Europe by the France government, it was all over the place. Celebration. I don't know what has gotten over us. But let me progress. Let me show you another thing here. And so when that happened, the first lady of Sierra Leone, First Lady Fatima Marabio, congratulations, my dear husband, President Julius Marabio of Sierra Leone, for winning the MCC 2020. You win, Sierra Leone wins, and we moved. You see that? That is the real move. That I don't move our people on. We move. This is the real move now. You see that? The woman said we move. So she was congratulating her husband for initiating the fight against corruption in Sierra Leone. This is a proud woman applauding her husband that this victory is not only for you, it's for the people of Sierra Leone for winning this $400 million. It can do a lot of good if it is managed properly in Sierra Leone. And so we move, folks. So, in order to be respected by the world powers, you have to do your homework, fighting corruption, improving your democratic credentials. It's not sinking munya munya. It's not celebrating a lavish birthday. You're already poor. You want money from America. You're begging all around. And then the president is throwing a lavish party. When I go talk about it, they say, I hate her. You were elected to help your people. Focus on your people. Focus on your people. Our government now spend millions of dollars. Malabio did not spend a dime to get 400 million. He didn't spend a dime. Now, let me show you another thing again. Hey, my people. Let me show you another thing again. Now, this one is the recent elected president of Gambia. And if you can read there, it says Zambia to receive 1.3 billion from the IMF Global Liquidity Stabilization Program. You read that? Zambia to receive 1.3 billion. 1.3 billion with a B. Zambia president just got elected. The IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, is about to give the newly elected president of Zambia 1.3 billion. Why? Because he has good democratic credentials. He made a speech that he will focus on his people, and he has started making some strides toward that. He has a history of standing up for the people of Zambia. When I researched him, I understand that he ran more than 4 times. I think it is a 5th time he won. He has demonstrated, public service commitment, consistency. So this guy has not even been in power for like more than 3 months or so. They are giving him $1.3 billion. And then Samuel Twe and Maggie running all over this place here, taking pictures. They can't even get a dime. And do you now want us to say that? So I have shown you 2 countries, African country, that do not have traditional ties with the United States of America. And the, global financial institution, America has a bigger hand of fish to fry in the decisions that are made. The World Bank president is always an American citizen. I think my research tells me the IMF or head is always a European citizen. And these people, for them to give you money, you have to be able to do your homework, respect your people, fight corruption, and then they will give you the money. Because if you're not fighting corruption, if you're taking all the money, why should the people give you money for you to take it? So you can spend all the money you want on lobbying. You waste your time if you are not fighting corruption. That guy stole that money along with Bed 12, and the guy who's supposed to be fighting corruption. I know what's his name, Bala. He's part of it. He pulled his relative on a fake company they created, and we have the document in our possession. Several thousands of United States that are being given to them, and they were not performing anything at that airport, that seaport rather, in Buchanan. And they took all that money, they put it in their pocket, they squandered it. And we have a president who is in the know. He knows about this. He didn't speak about it. He didn't talk about it. When his birthday came, he came out. And then in the midst of this very thing we're talking about, this stealing that went on that they know about, the whole world know about it, he's sending Samuel Twe and Maggie on another trip. The man who just built a mausoleum for him, he's sending him another trip to come and beg for money. And yes, he's spending several thousands of dollars to behave in that way. The people he coming to beg for money, When was the last time you saw any, or have you ever heard about a report of an American president building a Mussolini for their mother, their mother? Have you ever heard that? Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I know the truth hurts, but the Bible says only the truth will set us free. And all I'm doing as a Liberian, I'm not saying this because I'm a perfect man. I have my flaws. There are a lot of things I wish I have done better. But we have a country, man. And that's the only country we have. There are young boys and girls who are coming up. What's the hope for them if we continue, if our elected officials continue to behave this way? What is the hope for them? For me, when I was coming up in my hometown of Southtown, the Catholic Church had a school there called St. Paul Catholic School. That's where I started. The Catholic nuns were there. They taught me. This is not a boast. So I'm fortunate to be one of those Liberians who have a very good penmanship. If I take a pen and write, you think somebody type. And many of my colleagues who myself went to school. The reason we got a little foundation that some are relying on today is because some group of people went there and saw that these are human beings. They need to be given a foundation. Then our own brothers and sisters who have that power, who control the national coffers of our country, they're not doing it. And the school I attended, all the way in Grand Group, it was always clean. Always clean. Go look at University of Liberia. You'll cry. Go look at Tottenham High. The school to I graduated from. I will not stop talking about it because it is a disgrace that that school is looking like that. I will continue to talk about it. Anytime I have the opportunity to come live, I will talk about it. Until these people can see it in their mind and wisdom to say, no, this is true. We have to fix this. The money spent on the president's birthday could have been used. And in all this thing, so just look at that kind of birthday celebration. Let's say the U.S. government was just waiting, oh, well, let these guys to go back to Liberia. And let's see how they would behave. Maybe if they behave humble, we'll give them some money. When they look at that kind of birthday celebration, they will give you money. T-shirts, whole traffic black. When was the last time American president was celebrating birthday for traffic to be black anywhere? Never in the history. Now, let me tell you something again. Germany is one of the industrious countries in the world. Its economy is vibrant. I think Germany is the biggest economy in Europe. Angela Merkel, who is now leaving out very soon, who has been serving the people of Germany, report had it that woman have less than 10 dresses that she uses all the time. A public servant. She even pressing her own clothes, according to the story. Germany is rich. Never a day for the people of Germany to say, wow, see how honorably the woman have served us. Her birthday will dance in the street, will do this. You didn't see that happening. But in our country, when you go talking, you hit position, you did. I want to be proud of my president. I want to be proud of my ministers. I want to be proud of my country. That's the only country I've come from. When I become an American citizen, in my passport, they will put the place of birth, Southtown, Liberia. This is the thing we're talking. Now, here's the other thing I need to show you so that I can close the broadcast because it will soon be 1 hour now. I promised 45 minutes. I gone 53 minutes now. Let me show you this again, my people. So, what I'm going to show you, bear with me here. So, this is Julius Matter Bio that we're talking about. Let me make it big for you to see. This is Julius Matter Bio. Look at the picture. In this picture here, there is Bill Gates, one of the billionaires in the world. Now, next to him is another billionaire, Mark Bloomberg of New York. This guy got money. Of the recent election that ended in the US, he said he was running. He spent $1 billion. He didn't go nowhere. It didn't even shake him. Malabio is having a dinner with two of the world's richest men. Malabio, the ball for Fritan Bobo. Fritan Bobo, who had no name recognition whatsoever in the history of the world. Compare that with President Weah, who has been an icon in the world. Folks, you see what I'm talking about? Julius Matter Bio is having dinner with Bill Gates and Mark Bloomberg of New York, two US billionaires. Let me make a small little beam off. Let's say I had that opportunity like Matter Bio has right now, to be meeting the world two billionaires on the same room, having dinner together. In fact, before I leave my country, I will find experts to draw me a master plan how to improve or connect my country. Or maybe to build a huge internet infrastructure in my country. And I meet this guy, say, this is my plan. This thing will cost me $1 billion. This is what I want to do. And this is the way I'm going to pay back the money. Or if you can give it to me as a grant, I will appreciate it. Anyway, let me leave that and start making B-Mon. Yeah, let me stick on my topic. I don't want to be there some people. You don't think that you want to make yourself look at something. So, folks, can you see that? Where is our president? Where is he? From France to France, from France to France, nothing has happened for us. Some of them can't tell about, oh, France gave a vaccine and this, that. Come on, man. Come on, man. Isn't this the very president who was at the airport collecting this Madagascar help, and you think you're going to help with COVID? He has not even taken the COVID vaccine. Our president have not taken the COVID vaccine. Is it that kind of problem then? He has not taken COVID vaccine. Nearly all the world leaders around the world, not all of them, but I would say nearly, have taken the vaccine. Our president is yet to take the vaccine. You lead a group of people that you say he loved. John Weah loved the country. I saw the outpour of love from our people for him. He has now shown them the example that we have a pandemic here. It's killing people around the world. The vaccine is helping. Let me call the cameraman or the journalist. Let me take the vaccine so that my people can see it. He has not done it. Our president has not done it. Something that simple. The US president, who anywhere he going, doctor then running behind, doctors, medical professionals are working behind him to provide him care. He took the vaccine 2 times, and recently he took his booster shot. The most powerful country on the earth. You could say, oh no, man, anytime that thing catch me, the doctors will take care of me, I'll be okay. Leadership is symbolism. You got to lead. Why they call it leader? You leading. Everything you set the pace. Look at Matter Bio. Where is our president? For Christ's sake, my people. Where is he? He's nowhere to be found. Fellow citizen, you see this? This is the pictures, photo tangibles is what they give us. When they came, that is all they got. That's why they care about to our people. And where it is, on Facebook. It only on Facebook. That 12 Mange who being accused of corruption, that the people you're sending to come lobby for you in Washington. New Zama president getting $1.3 billion. Folks, you see, and those of you who love President you're not helping. You're part of the problem. You are part of the problem. And it's just sad. Earlier, I was telling you that if you want to get money from the world power, your democratic credentials at home need to be firm. And of course, diplomacy plays a part. Who you send to lobby for you matters. You can't send a Bukhari setters to come and lobby for you. You serious? You're not serious. So again, our delegation left and went with empty hands. And when they got to Liberia, what happened? Another news again. So they had not put this thing in here. I thought I did. Hold on, folks. Hold on, folks. I thought I put it here. No, I think I didn't put it here. Hold on, folks. Something I'm looking for that I need to show you. Oh, fine. There it is. There it is. Now, let me show you this one. So our delegation went back. I hit the 1 hour mark now, so I'll soon be closing the broadcast. It's late, so I will read your comments, not online. I mean, while I'm live, I will not read them. I will read them before I go to bed. So this is a story. Our delegation have left. They went back to Liberia. We heard all the corruption news here and there, and still people celebrating big birthday and all that. That's their business. I mean, you can go your 24 years, I mean, that's democracy. The people get, what they deserve or what they, ask for, right? Hey, I want the best, but if it is not good, I will tell you it's not good. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to fool you. And tell me too, if I'm not doing good, tell me I'm not doing good. If you think I'm hateful, tell me I'm hateful. If I don't speak good English, tell me you don't speak good English, so that maybe I can, go do smaller class and better myself. But back to the topic. Let's leave the fun part. So our delegation returned, and what happened? Corruption news continue. This is an article for Front Page Africa. Look at the headline. This is the picture Front Page had in the newspaper. They have a dragon with the word corruption written on it. And that dragon is eating the Liberian flag. In other words, they are telling you dragon is a monster. Corruption is a monster like a dragon that is eating the country up. And the Front Page Africa is the most read online newspaper in Liberia and around the world, or is the most read Liberian newspaper around the world. This is the newspaper that most Liberians like me, who always try to read the news every day when I get up, that's my breakfast. There were many Liberians who want to know what's going on in the country. There where they go. There were diplomats and foreign, dignitaries and foreign governments, embassies around. There where they go to read the news. Because you go online, it's free. You don't have to walk. This is Front Page Africa carrying an article talking about corruption in government. And with this image, corruption, a dragon with the word corruption written on it, eating the Liberian flag, the white, red, and blue. And here's the caption: Liberia News Center report show popular resources end up in government officials' pockets. Now let me take it out of the way and break it all down for you. They'll celebrate a birthday, Some people can't, for me, I'm not a birthday guy. Birthday is a very, very important day in the life of people. So celebrate. But look at this story. This is a bad story. This is a bad press. This kind of press, this kind of headline, this kind of image, that corruption is eating the fabric of the country, is eating the country up. And the title that money is ending up in the pockets of government officials. That is the headline. Front Page Africa. Go there right now, you will read the story. So how will a government that the US government will give you the millions for which you send a delegation, no woman on a delegation. All the men you send, nearly all of them get BB stomach showing that they're eating the country money. You come back for money. You serious? Something I did not tell you that is important. Why our government is coming to the US 2 times, huge delegation. The president of Gambia, who is receiving right now as we speak $1.3 billion from the IMF. If you read the story, and I show you the headline there, that discussion that went on before they could secure that $1.3 billion, it happened on Zoom. Hello, Liberian people, you're listening to me? It happened on Zoom. It was a Zoom meeting. The discussion about the 1.3 billion United States dollars IMF money for Gambia was held on Zoom, online. The Zambia delegation did not travel to America, where we have IMF headquarters. No. They were in Zambia. They got on their computer and they talked to the people and they snatched 1.3 billion. Tue and Mange came to America 2 times. The first time they came with a woman. Maybe they felt that because the first delegation they had woman, why they didn't get anything. So this time around they came with our woman. Man, and I go show our strength, man. And they start meeting Republican people that giving Joe Biden hard time, a lesson grant, a racist by every definition. You must be out of your mind, guys. So, folks, 1.3 billion Gambia is getting from IMF through Zoom meeting. And you sending thousands of dollars to come here just to take picture? But let me go to the corruption story so I can close right away. I have to go get some sleep here. So here's the article. Let's read the essay that I took from that after reading it quite clearly. December 15, 2023. This I'm reading to you here is earlier. You remember I talked about Sierra Leone, right? I talked about Sierra Leone. Sorry, I have to do this. I talked about Sierra Leone earlier. Sierra Leone, when they got the $400 million that I talked about. December 15, 2020. The president of Sierra Leone speaking, I have been notified this evening that Sierra Leone is compact eligible. We will continue building our own gains in control of corruption, democratic rights, and economic freedom. You see that? Manabia was speaking. He said he just been informed that they are qualified, Sierra Leone is qualified to receive the Millennium Compact Grant, free money, 400 million United States dollars. And what did he say? Because of our gains in control of corruption. When he say our gains, that means we're making gain. We deal with corrupt people. We are arresting them. We're taking the money from them at the store. We're putting them in jail. We're giving the money back to the people. It's because of the gains that we are making. The people giving us free $400 million. It's not because I came to America to show my face. So in essence, he get the money just by sitting in Sierra Leone and fighting corruption. You didn't have to travel, folks. So that's the one piece there. Now, let me bring you the other one here. So this is the corruption story now in Liberia. I want to end with here very quickly here. So this is the corruption story I want to end with. You see that? So Morovia, popular officials. This is the Front Page Africa story I'm telling you about. Morovia. Popular officials are milking the country of its resources as money channeled through the national budget ends up in their pockets. The Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. So there is a center, an institution, a call center that is trying to investigate and follow and track and document reports of corruption in Liberia. Front Page is quoting this institution that, according to their recent report just released, public officials are milking the country of its resources as money channeled through the budget, national budget, ends up in their pockets. So when you see that budget, they say, oh, there's money for agriculture, there's money going to national defense, that money ends up in their pocket, my people. That's why you see all of them, their stomach getting big, big. The money ends up in their pocket. And this kind of report now in your country that when you made the budget, the money that there end up in your pocket, then you can't beg for money. It must be, you're not serious. The same story continues by Front Page Africa. The judiciary, they came to the judiciary. The report said that bribery and extortion often play a role in obtaining favorable court decisions. Judges reportedly extort and receive bribes before releasing criminal defendants without bail. I will read it again. The judiciary branch of government. You want to have a judiciary that persecutes criminals and hold criminals accountable, that dispenses justice fairly, without favor. If you have a judiciary branch of government where a role can be taken to court and that court bribes a way through, no government going to give you money. No foreign power going to give you good money. They will give you peanuts. Like the one we've been getting in there. They gave Labro 50 million. Hey, our friend is celebrating. You serious? The same IMF is giving Gambia 1.3 billion. Do you get the picture? They gave you 3 million, 4 million, even 50 million. Even they gave you 200 million, he's celebrating. Compare 200 million with 400 million that, or what's his name, Mana Bioga. And the money, Mana Bioga, the one they call grant, that free money, you're not paying back. And compare 200 million, assuming Labro are giving any 200 million by the IMF. Compare that with 1.3 billion that Gambia is receiving. What does that tell you? So let me read this part again. I talked about democratic credentials earlier. The judiciary is key. It is the judiciary. The report said bribery and extortion often play a role in obtaining favorable court decisions. Judges reportedly extort and receive bribes before releasing criminal defendants without bail. Our lawyers, our judges. So what this means is that justice is for sale in Liberia. If you get good money, you can win any case, man. So if a government official stole maybe $200,000, and somebody reported a carry man to court, and man called a judge, and my man judge, I gave 50,000, man, close that case closed. It done. That man took that 150,000 that had a building the mansions. And people, it is late at my end. I felt that I needed to do this, and this is a very late edition of the Hour of Politics with me, Anthony Sia, your host. I want to say thank you so very much for always following our broadcast here. I focus on Liberia, where we educate and elevate and promote all things Liberia. Those of you who watch this video, who watch this broadcast, please share it with some of your friends. I know many people are getting up right now so that they can be able to listen to this presentation. My goal here is not to make our government look bad. It is intended to hold them accountable for them to do good. They have it in their power to do good. They control the government. We have a budget. That budget must be used on the people. And that's all I care about. I don't care right now who is the president. I don't care right now who is minister. They just do the right thing and help our people. And because they are not doing that, we will hold them accountable. We will hold their feet to the fire. That is my role I have chosen to play. You listen to me, I didn't insult anybody. I just came, did my research, and did my presentation for Liberia. If we all can do this, maybe we'll help the situation. Because silence is dangerous. Well, let me not bore you with a long closing. Thank you so very much. And you know, here at Focus on Liberia, we don't close any of our broadcasts here without playing our closing song, We Are All Liberians. Again, I'm Anthony here, and I brought you yet another informative, balanced, analytical, and fair representative broadcast here at Focus on Liberia, where we educate, we elevate, and promote all things Liberia. Until I see you again next time, I'm Anthony here on behalf of the crew here at Focus on Liberia. We love you. We have to protect the only country that we love. Listen to the song, We Are All Liberians. Bye-bye.
We are Liberians. Liberia is our home. Liberian people.